Day one of the draft was absolutely incredible and lived up to everything it was hyped up to be. That being said, it was a lot better for some teams than others, and it's tempting to go through and rank or letter grade every pick of how the team's drafted, which will probably end up being a post-round 7 venture, but it needs to be talked about as the night unfolded. Nobody should be happier with how the draft turned out than the New York Jets. Not only having 2 top 10 picks, which is obviously a great spot to be in, but the value they found at 4 and 10, and being able to be aggressive late when they saw guys slipping in Jermaine Johnson to trade up and get him. A lot of teams made good picks, and there's a lot of draft to go, including the Jets, who won't have to wait long to make their next selection with the 6th pick in the 2nd round, but the film shows us everything. So in today's video, we are going to break down the 3 players that the Jets acquired in Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, and Jermaine Johnson, cover how they're going to fit on the team, what their strengths and weaknesses are, and make some conclusions at the end. There's a lot to get into as this is a 3-for-1 special, so let's get into it. Starting out with the 4th overall selection in Sauce Gardner, I don't really know if they had a good read on whether or not the Texans were going corner at 3, but it's good to keep draft capital in order to not be overly aggressive when it's not necessary, because I think they took the Tom Telesco approach as they saw Sauce and Stingley Jr. as 1A, 1B, and would be happy with either one. That being said, they got the closest thing to Darrelle Revis in college in an absolute lockdown corner with great size, speed, and ball skills. Being 6'3", running a 4.47, putting up ungodly numbers, not giving up a single touchdown, only 13 receptions given up in 2021. With their division is a terrifying one when it comes to weapons. It's important to match that. To me, this pick is in direct response to deal with Stephon Diggs, Devontae Parker, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Cedric Wilson, and really all of these loaded receiving rooms in the AFC. But let's check out some film to show you what I mean. Now in the first film analysis, I want to show you how Sauce Gardner put up some of these numbers. Not only is he one of the most athletic corners in the draft, he's also one of the most technically sound. As a press traveling corner, he played a bunch of different techniques and he switched up his jams a lot. And what he's able to do with his length here, being 6'3", usually not going to be a press corner because you're lacking some things, as we're going to see later, but he doesn't have to lunge forward to make this. He takes a side step, able to get both his hands on the receiver, push him off his line, and be right full in stride. He didn't need to lunge at all, and that cannot be understated. Doesn't bite on the double move, and now it's raw speed. But look at where the receiver's at. He is half a yard from the sideline. Where is the quarterback supposed to put the ball? You can't throw back shoulder. You can't throw it over the top. He has long enough arms to break it up. This is just completely blanketed as the ball sails out of bounds. And we're going to see the same thing here, but just with a different release. Instead of getting 2 hands on him, he's going to have no hands on him. He's just going to bump and run. This is just speed, keeps contact. As soon as he sees the receiver turn for the ball, there's nowhere you can put this ball where you're going to complete it, again, sailing out of bounds. But this is really what separates him and Derek Stingley from a lot of the other corners in the draft, for in my opinion, is the fluidity in his hips and how he's able to get back to full speed, because in the NFL, you are going to have man coverage, and if the line holds up, they're going to be able to pull off these double moves. He gets a good jam on the line. He is ready to follow this receiver all the way across the field. The receiver makes a great route, but look at Sauce Gardner as he makes a complete 360, flips his hips all the way around, opening towards the quarterback, getting upfield, and being able to stay full stride with the receiver. Just to watch this back again, this is so impressive how he's able to do this, because right now, this is where we see receivers win so much. If you get the corner turned around, you won the rep. Not exactly with Sauce, as he's able to open field turn with his long legs, being able to cover ground, being still in great position to make a play on this ball. And as the ball in the air, he also has some of the best ball skills in the air, doesn't panic, able to make a beautiful pass break up here. And this is how you only allow 13 catches in an entire season. This is earlier on in his career. Still the same thing applies. He is hip to hip with the receiver. There's no separation here, and there's just no chance being able to go under the receiver to break this up, not drawing enough contact to draw a flag. And we're going to check out 2 more plays, because with his frame, you wouldn't think he's that much willing to be a part of the run game or that aggressive tackling, which at the corner position, you're not expected to that much. But this is a huge plus for Sauce Gardner. I did another film analysis on him earlier, showing him how he blitzed off the edge, but this is in the playoff games. They're trying to take advantage of this with Sauce Gardner, get the ball to their best player, Jameson Williams. The receiver's going to go off him and actually pick up hot on the safety coming down the field, leaving, this is exactly what they wanted, leaving Jameson Jameson Williams one-on-one with Sauce Gardner. All he has to do is make a miss, and this is a huge gain. Sauce Gardner, a great open field tackler. He did this so consistently. Even when Alabama gets everything they want, Sauce is being able to prove that he is a great tackler in the open field. And the last play we're going to look at, he's not perfect. Sometimes you're going to get got, but what do you do? Because your technique completely changes after this. So he catches his eyes in the backfield, probably bites for a pump fake on this play, but now he sees he's out of position. The receiver has him stacked, and now it's time to play out of phase corner position. So he puts his head down, plays it perfectly, gets really fortunate the quarterback throws a bad ball, but doesn't panic, doesn't just try and draw a flag to take the 15 yards, but wants to play this in the air. Great ball skills. This is why I think they got an absolute steal, and this was the right pick at number 4. Moving on to their 10th pick, I would say most mock drafts had Drake London going here. However, I would have hand-picked Garrett Wilson for the Jets. Drake London was attracted to many with the idea of a big body target for Zach Wilson, who can play inside and out and be forgiving with 50-50 in contested catches. And even though Drake London is clearly the best at that, Garrett Wilson also does this and a lot more. Let me show you why the Jets should be so excited when it comes to who they got to pair with Corey Davis, Elijah Moore, and CJ Uzomah. Garrett Wilson might be one of the most quarterback-friendly prospects I've seen come out of the draft in a while. At Ohio State, he consistently made Justin Fields and CJ Stroud bad, inaccurate throws turn into positive plays. All his momentum's going across the field. He's able to stop, jump, contort his body, pirouette, and immediately start to make his way up the field and start making moves on people. Or coming down the sideline, all his momentum's coming back to the ball. CJ Stroud throws it upfield. He's able to stop, fully extend, get 2 hands on it, catch it, get both feet in bounds. And he just did this so consistently. I mean, this is just a simple hitch play. Justin Fields is off by a good 4 or 5 feet on this. His catch radius is ridiculous. So yes, he can bail you out in 50-50 jump balls and contested catches just like Drake London can. But on everyday consistent throws where you just mess up, he makes you right. But now let's start getting in some plays where he's shown to be a red zone threat and a jump ball threat. And you don't have to be 6'5" to be a huge red zone threat in the end zone. I mean, just look at Odell Beckham Jr. on the Rams. If you have a really good release package, which is something that is good but not consistent, he does have some very good releases where he torches corners off the line like he does here. He doesn't even need to win with a jump ball because he gets the corner leaning, and that's just going to be game over. That's going to be an easy touchdown throw. But he doesn't do it as consistency as I would like to see, like a Justin Jefferson or a Devontae Adams does. The release is good here, but sometimes he has a lot of useless steps. And these are the type of plays he's making at just 6 feet tall. And the crazy thing is, this isn't even what he's best at. He is way more electric in the open field, but can we go get a big catch in the big house against a rival? It's terrible weather. Climb the ladder, come down with it, get your feet in bound. That is a huge touchdown. And just time and time again, don't need to be 6'5", but he was consistently probably their best jump ball threat in the entire draft. His concentration when the ball's in the air is spectacular, and he's able to make these plays so consistently. But now here he is working in the slot, and this is what I really think he's going to be best at. You can use him on jet sweeps, bubble screens, and we're going to see some of that in a little bit. But just being able to win quickly, get the ball, have the concentration, look the ball into your hands. But as soon as he catches it, be ready, brace for the hit. He's only 192 pounds, but nope, he's going to already make a move. And this is just how electric he is in such short spaces. The safety's broken down to make a tackle, and he makes him drop to his knees. He's just so twitchy, so subtly athletic, and when he gets in the open field, good luck catching him. And this is why I think it's going to be so important for Zach Wilson to have a guy like this. Just make an easy throw, get it out to the flats, let him do the work. These are all yards after catch that he creates 100% solely on his own. But just being able to do this, flip it out to him, make stuff happen. I'm just going to speed this up. Stiff arm a guy to the ground. He is just an absolute electric factory. He's going to bail Zach Wilson out in multiple situations. And I think this was the perfect pick. And I think he brings a lot what Drake London would bring to them, but just adds a lot more dynamic play. And moving on to the third, but certainly not least of the picks that the Jets got, they were active and traded the 35th, 69th, and 163rd pick to the Titans to move up 9 spots to the 26th pick and also receive the Titans 101st. Great value in my opinion to move up to a guy who definitely would not have been there come pick 35, and he was 8th on the Jets' big board. There's always players that are going to slip in the draft, but the reason they slip is probably the most important thing. So why did a player that was seen to many as a top 10 pick find his way all the way down at 26? Well, I think this shit just happens sometimes. Teams see a better fit at another position, or they want a more proven player, and they get worried about taking a risk too early to draft upside. But the Jets saw this and took advantage of it, and Robert Saleh has to be ecstatic about having this guy on his team. But let's check out his film for the third and final film session of the day, and we're gonna see what the Jets are getting in Florida State's Jermaine Johnson. And finally, let's talk about Jermaine Johnson, and we're going to look at some things because he really shined at the Senior Bowl. So we're going to watch a clip of something he did in the Senior Bowl and then show how it applies to the field. And this is something that I love to see. He turns speed. He comes off the line quick in a hurry, but he turns speed into power. Boom. He engages. He is in the chest. He is under the pad level, and now he is driving. The lineman has none of the leverage. He's standing straight up. He can't get anchored in. And I'm no mathematician, but looking at leverage, I see 1 foot, I see 2 driving feet, and just the angle that he's pushing up and into him, this lineman is going to be straight up and down, turning speed into power, getting right into his chest and driving him straight back into the quarterback. But how does this apply to the field? Because in the Senior Bowl, usually those one-on-ones are going to favor the defensive lineman, but let's see it in game action. So off the snap of the ball, the right tackle really has to protect his upfield shoulder because he has the speed to get right around him. But Jermaine Johnson sees this. He's going to plant his foot, and he's going to extend, get both hands into him, and start driving right into the chest of the right tackle. And now he's also playing the upfield shoulder, so if the quarterback wants to escape the pocket and go to the right, he's going to be able to disengage and get him there. So he has to step up in the pocket, and so Jermaine Johnson, I don't know if he gets credit for the sack or if his own lineman's going to get credit for sacking his own quarterback. But this is turning speed into power. And I think he was slipping on a few draft boards because he is so raw. I'm not going to say he has the best technique in the world, but what I saw when I was watching his film, I wrote down 3 things. Super athletic, violent hands, and relentless. And those 3 things show up all over his film. We see another one in the Super Bowl where he just takes his hands and just violently rips the lineman down. I mean, perfect technique? No. But we're going to be able to see in his film how he uses his violent hands and just a relentless pursuit of the football to be so effective in the passing and in the running game. And this first play really just kind of shows it all. Here he is at the bottom of your screen. You're just going to see this violent use of his hands. Is it perfect technique? No. But when he comes in at 100 miles an hour and as soon as the lineman tries to put his hands on him, he is chopping, he is swiping, he is ripping, he is doing whatever it is to disengage and start to take that angle on the quarterback. And here comes the running back. Be a football player, take the contact, throw the running back to the side. But where's the quarterback? The ball's still not gone. The relentless pursuit, this is what I love to see in a football player. This is everything you want to see out of your defensive lineman. 1st and 10 in an 18-point game, winding minutes of the 4th quarter. Just be relentless. Be a football player. Be hungry for the ball. You want to do this every single play. And now he's going to be at the bottom of your screen as the left end. But what we love to see is the raw tools. And this is what I would love to see Robert Saleh help him develop. But we can't, again, violent, relentless. Is this textbook? Absolutely not. But he just throws everything he can into one shoulder on the lineman, completely spins him around. This is a 300+ pound man in college. Just completely spins him around and gets after the quarterback, causes the strip fumble, making instant impact, turn defense into offense. And he would just have his way with them because he does have so much speed to get around the edge. He does have the power to put his head right into their chest and get around. So when he is violently swiping with his arms, it was so common to see him in the backfield. And this is why he was able to have such a productive season. But it's also very controlled. This is going to be a running play. He's going to be here at the top of your screen, and the lineman's going to try and lunge and get after him, and he is going to punish this by playing it patiently and not even letting him lay a finger on him. So he's going to lunge early. He's going to step back, let the lineman use his momentum going forward, use it against him, pushes back, get it to the ground, and as soon as the running back has the ball, he's 3-4 yards in the backfield, ready to make a play. Now, there are some weaknesses, and this wasn't the best route, but this is what I absolutely love to see. This was at the Senior Bowl. Don't get comfortable where you're at. Don't be comfortable with your raw athleticism. Try and work on your moves. Work on your bag. He wins the rep, I guess. He stumbles out of it. It kind of looks clumsy. That we never really saw this all that much used in games, but I love this. This is showing me he's willing to work on his craft, willing to try new things and get better, and I'm always willing to bet on this. I just still cannot believe they got him at 26. And the last play we're going to look at is something I would actually like to see him work on. He did get a sack on this play. However, this is what I think kind of separates him from the top of the draft class, like an Aiden Hutchinson, like a Kayvon Thibodeau. But as soon as he gets around the end at the top of your screen, he needs to cut this off right now. He has incredibly powerful lower legs, and what I want to see him do is this is what the elite players in the draft, they are able to go directly down this line. Even though they're getting contact, they're able to keep this bend, keep this good angle, get right down the line. And even though he makes a sack on this play, I feel like at the NFL level, it's going to be a little bit more difficult as he kind of goes another 2 yards up the field, kind of has to bow around. We see Aiden Hutchinson, we see Thibodeau being able to take that straight line, power right through when they have the leverage on the lineman. And so looking back on things, a lot of teams had a really good draft, but I can't point to a single team that got more value at every single position. And it's not just getting an early draft pick and being aggressive late is a good thing. Not to throw any shots, I do not think the Jags had that good of a draft. First overall is very skeptical, and then for the trade up to get a linebacker in a very linebacker heavy class when he still might have been there later on, I just don't know. But this is why I think the Jets had the best day one of the draft, and I'm very excited to see how this entire draft unravels. But that's what I think. I want to know what you guys think. Make sure to like this video if you like videos like these. Make sure to comment down below what you think about the Jets draft, and make sure to subscribe if you enjoy daily sports content. We are in the heat of draft season, so make sure to comment down below which teams or which players you want me to cover, because it is going to be a grind, as there's not going to be much else to talk about for the next 4 or 5 months. Thank you guys so much for checking out the channel. I will see you all tomorrow. Peace.